Hello, this is Toni from Pasta Academy. Today I'm in my beautiful Sardinia, my own town where I was born and grew up, and we will be making the traditional Pane Carasatu, which is our traditional Sardinian bread. It's a long kind of process, but we'll go through the stages with different phases. I'm in a beautiful location in the countryside with my family, and we'll be making the bread from scratch. Okay, we'll go different phases, so just bear with us, and we will show you how the Sardinian bread and Pane Carasatu is made. Okay, the ingredients are the semola di grano duro, which is the durum wheat flour. Today we are using the it's called the grano capelli, which is a type of wheat which grows in Sardinia, in the local area. There we go. This is what it looks like. It's a kind of brown color. It's a kind of golden brown color. It's the semola. It's the durum wheat. Okay. We are making about 10 kilos. Okay. We have started already, kind of making the dough. In the old days, it used to be done. We used to make this here by hand because the machinery wasn't available. Nowadays we are lucky, so we got this kind of mixing machine, and which makes our job much easier. So we are making 10 kilos of flour, and then we need about 5 liters of water, which is about normally 50%, and we will be also adding about maybe between 800 or 100 grams of fresh yeast. That is, now we will show. This is my sister Caterina. So we got the yeast. We are melting with the water, and then we will be adding to the flour, to the dough. Okay, so the yeast, the quantity of the yeast normally depends on obviously on the weather conditions. If it's too hot like it is now, we are kind of July in Sardinia, is very hot. We obviously require less. In the winter months when it's a bit colder, you may need a little more yeast. But normally it's about 10 grams per kilo flour. Okay. Here this just gone in, and now the machine will carry on doing the mixing the dough for several minutes. Okay. This is called zulaku. It's a wooden kind of container where they used in the old days. Here, my mom, I remember when I was a young boy. That's where we used to mix the flours and do the dough. It was all done by hand, and so the flour and the water and all the ingredients, they used to be mixed up, and it was kneaded, and it was quite obviously hard work. Nowadays we don't. We are, like I said, we are very lucky because we have this wonderful mixing machine. And also, it was also rolled, you will see later on, also by hand with a rolling pin. And now we got this rolling machine, which will makes the job much easier. Okay, I think the dough now is ready. And here we go. It's got a nice density. Okay. Now slowly. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make the little paddles, the little. We're doing making kind of portions. Obviously, the best way to do it is we wave them, and it's about 200 grammi.
160.
We make them about 160 grams each. And just to be precise, the bread is all the same. We weigh them. Okay. Me ne sta bene uno. There we go. They prepare all the little, it was about 160 grams each, and that is now it's good to rest maybe for about an hour or so. Okay, we make all these doughs and we put them in a container. Still doing the little breads, 160 grams, weighing them. And this process is called maniestare. Okay, and we put them in this little container until they're all kind of done. Here we go. This process is called maniestare, until all the dough is done into portions and in the little breads. All the dough now is ready. So, in the meantime, we got the oven going. This is a kind of clay oven, wood burning clay oven made from bricks. And that's where we'll be cooking the bread. It will reach about 400, 500 degree inside. It's going to be very, very hot. Okay. Okay, we're nearly finishing this phase of pesare su pane. Like I said, we start with the rolling pin, and then Caterina is finishing with the machine, and she's putting in the clothes layer one by one. And those clothes are called pannos, which is a special cotton cloth. So we are nearly there. We've done all our breads. We only have a few left. There we go. A few more breads. Okay, we are finishing this phase of pesare su pane. We are in the last 4. Okay. So we are putting in this, like I said, in this cloth. There we go, we are doing the last ones. There we go. Put it in a cloth. It's a pannu, it's called zupannu, all these cloths here, from the cotton. And when it's finished, let's see. They're all here. When it's complete, all the layers, it's called zappira de supane, and they are ready to be cooked in a little while. Okay? There we go. Caterina just doing the last one of the lot. And then in a little while, depends on the, we'll test if the bread is ready to be cooked. We may have to wait a little bit, a few minutes maybe, to make sure the yeast is doing the job. Okay, and then we go to the, so this phase is called pesare, that is complete. Now the next phase will be called coccere, which means cooking the bread. There we go. Okay, now we start cooking the bread. The fire was in the middle of the oven. Now we push to the side, and now we start the cooking process in a second. And now we start this is all our tools we need for cooking the bread, and they will start the cooking in a second. The oven should be about 400-500 degrees. Okay, now we start cooking. There we go, it goes in the oven. And the shock of the heat, it will make it rise. Can you see? Like a balloon. There we go. And one by one, we cook all the bread. Okay? Now this phase is called coccere, coccende su pane. Can you see? The power of the heat. It makes the bread rise. Okay, this phase is called Caterina is coccende, and I am crapendo. And at this stage, this bread is called pane lento, which means soft bread, because as you can see, it's just soft. So what I do is I got 2 layers, put one on top of the other, and then we pile them up. Questa plastica. Okay, pile them up, and we go through the first phase with all the bread, and then after that we will be the kind of the last phase, which is called crasare. We'll do that when all the bread is cooked. So this is called crapire. And at this stage, the pane is called pane lento. Okay, now the bread has all been cooked and split in 2 layers, as you saw earlier on. Now, what we're doing, we're going to the second phase of baking. What we're going to do, we're going to split all these layers one by one, and they are going to be baked again. And this phase is called crasare, which means kind of make it kind of crispy. The oven will be in a kind of lower temperature. It's not as hot as before. Before, for cooking, it would have been 400 to 500 degrees. Now it's going to be in a kind of milder heat, about 200 to 250. And all these layers, they're going to go back in the oven again. And that is called carasare. And when it comes out, it will be nice and crispy and golden color, and it will get rid of all the humidity. It's like the bread becomes like pasteurized, and that's why it gets the name Pane Carasatu, which means crasare becomes Pane Carasatu. Okay, it becomes like if you like, a kind of Melba toast, and gets rid of all the humidity, and that's what will give the long shelf life. Okay, and then I'll talk to you about the origin of the bread later on. Okay, now we're going into the, you can say the third and final phase, which is called Carasare, which that's where it gets the name Pane Carasatu, which is the last kind of toasting kind of phase, if you like. The bread has already been baked, now is being toasted. It's called Carasau, and what it does is the thin layers, they get baked again. The temperature in the oven is milder. It's about 250 degrees. And what it does is it gets ready all the humidity, and it becomes like a kind of toasting it. It becomes like a kind of Melba toast, if you like. And that's what gives the name Pane Carasatu. The origin of this bread is goes back centuries when the shepherds used to go in a, we call it transumanza in Italian, and where they used to move with their animals to different areas because they were more accurate. And obviously the shepherds used to produce their own meat, milk, and vegetables maybe, and cheese and all that. But bread was difficult for them to make it. So the wives used to make this bread because by being double baked, gives kind of long shelf life. Is kind of this kind of second baking procedure gets ready all the humidity, and it goes kind of gives long shelf life. So this in here can last for several weeks. And that is the origin of this bread. Really goes back since. As you can see, when it comes out of the oven straight away, I'm going to put some weights on, because what it does is, if you don't, it kind of becomes kind of curly. So that's why it needs a way to keep it kind of flat. Otherwise, it kind of becomes kind of curly and then goes all over the place. So you need to put some weights to kind of put some pressure on, becomes nice and flat, and it will be easier to kind of keep it, and to obviously it goes into all the packaging and all that. So you got to straight away apply some weight, so make sure it stays nice and flat. Piles of the Pane Carasatu, as you can see, they're just pressing. So that's, we've done our job. This is the finished article now. Okay, the Pane Carasatu at this stage is what they call plain, if you like, which this is kind of our daily bread, which you can use in everyday kind of consumption. Obviously, this bread is very versatile at this, because you can eat as just a plain bread, or you can do many recipes in a different ways. Like say, if you at this stage, now if you sprinkle some extra virgin olive oil and some salt, becomes pane guttiao, we call it, which is a very popular way to have it. Or you can also put some fresh herbs, some rosemary if you wish. Also, you can do the pane vratau, which is another very popular dish, which is this bread, which is soaked with in a kind of sheep kind of broth, and with a tomato and the pecorino cheese. We call it pane vratau, which also can be served with a kind of poached egg on the top. That's another recipe for it in there. Or you can call it, also a popular way is called pane cotu, which is the crumble of this bread in a kind of soup bowl with a kind of sheep kind of broth and the pecorino cheese. That is called pane cotu. So it's a very versatile, or you can simply run under the tap of and then make it kind of just gently moist, put it on the table there, and then it can be eaten, can be consumed with your meals as a kind of like a normal bread. You can roll it like a pancake if you wish. Just always, it's very, very ideal to soak all the sauces We call it scarpetta in Italian. That is very, very nice way to have it. So this is as far as the Pane Carasatu is concerned. Okay, it's been a long day, so we got the final article now. This is how we keep the bread at home, mainly in a big kind of pile wrapped up in cellophane, in a plastic container. Obviously, you can find it in the shops. They are in different packages of kilo, half kilo, and even cut in different shapes. I think now it probably starts to be available even in the special delicatesses, even in the UK. I think you can start to be more visible in the specialized delicatesses. Okay, so that's it all for, I think I told you everything about the Pane Carasatu. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, press the like button, and you can subscribe to my channels, as probably will be making a few more videos regarding Sardinian specialities during my stay in Sardinia. Okay, thanks so much everybody for watching. Bye bye.